I want to bring in NewsNation's national correspondent, Alex Caprariello. He was at the courthouse in Birmingham, Alabama today. Alex, does anybody actually believe any part of what he said in this ridiculous confession?
Well, I think that really depends on who you ask. I mean, if you're someone like yourself that's been following this case for a very long time, or someone who knows Aruba, many people are just not buying it. You poked some very good holes into it, Ashleigh. I mean, we're talking about knee-deep water that's not very deep at all, very shallow. The fact that he's saying that he just pushed her body out into the ocean and it just drifted away really just isn't all that realistic. Not to mention people that have visited this site in Aruba, been on that island, say that those waters are really calm. You know, just recently I watched a documentary about the island of Aruba, and they said that everything that actually floats near that shore just comes right on back to the shore. So the fact of the matter is, a lot of people just don't think that this is a very believable story. But going back to, it depends on who you ask, let's talk about Beth Holloway. We asked her, do you believe it? And she'll tell you very strongly, yes, I believe it. You wondered whether or not she watched a recording of Sloot actually making that confession. No, the answer is she watched it live. She wasn't actually sitting at the table with him, but she was able to watch it, I assume, through maybe a one-way mirror, in which case she listened to that story being told. She watched the polygraph test. She talked to the experts. She talked to the FBI, and really that's good enough for her. She believes this is what happened to her daughter, and that's fine with her.
You had a chance to talk to Beth today. She was giving some limited comments after going through this horrible day in court. Talk to me about her demeanor, what she said. I mean, it's hard to talk to a mother who's lost her daughter 18 years later and feeling as though maybe this is some kind of closure, which really doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's interesting. She doesn't like the word closure. She just feels like this is an end to a very long and painful saga that's lasted 18 years. We saw her first out here outside on the courthouse steps, and it was really a celebration. And I would say she carried that energy into our interview when I was able to speak to her one-on-one. Really, this was about a victory, a long-awaited victory. For a long time, Sloot was only known as a suspect or a person of interest, and now he's a confessed killer, and that means that she and her family can move on. Here's a portion of our interview that happened earlier today.
Even as shocking and painful as it is to hear him say that, it was still more torturous for me than not knowing. And I can say that now because I went for 18 years with not knowing to now knowing. I see the difference. And as hard and painful as it was, it's better than the last 18 years because it's over now. Her murder has been solved. I think that families that are, you know, have a loved one that has been a victim, they want to know what happened. I mean, they want to, even how, no matter how painful it is, they want to hear what the perpetrator did, what happened to their loved one. They need to know so they can begin to put this to rest. It's over. The never-ending nightmare is over, and for me, it's better than closure. And everybody has their own words that they use, but that is mine. Over, to me, is better than closure. That's my nightmare, and it was a never-ending nightmare. I was never going to get out of the weeds. I was never going to get out of the rabbit holes, but it's over now. It's done.
And gosh, Ashleigh, you've been covering this story for a long time, so you know that Beth Holloway has never shied away from the camera. And so I found that portion of our interview to be particularly interesting when she was talking to all the other families out there who have been victimized, who have a lost loved one, who don't know where they are. Their remains have never been found, just like what Beth has been dealing with forever and still will be, since Natalee's body is likely never to be found. Her message to them was just don't give up, right? Keep pushing forward, keep talking about it, keeping their spirit alive, and hopefully one day, too, you will also have closure.
She's been tireless in helping others these 2 decades. I mean, God bless her for having the strength to reach out to others and shoulder their pain and help them through their pain. I wish her the best. She is such an incredible woman. Great job, Alex. Thank you for bringing that interview. Really appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.